All right. Let's listen to the new Guild Wars 3 theme song. Composer Kazuma Jinochi. Brand new composer. Has he done anything on Guild Wars 2? It gets louder. That's very Guild Wars. Starts out very slow. It doesn't have as much of a punch as Guild Wars 2. But it's very Guild Wars. Oh, wow. Kazuma's done a lot of stuff. It's very whimsical. It reminds me very much of exploring the wilderness and the, the open land. Which it seems like we're going to be doing a lot from the small teaser we've gotten so far. Very fantasy. Very Guild Wars. Factions-esque. Ooh, that's pretty. I want to see an orchestra playing this. Trailer, right? This part? This. Yeah. Beautiful. Beautiful. Yeah. Of course, I've watched the trailer a bunch of times, and so I recognize, the last minute. Lena! Hi, Lena! Kazuma also worked on a few Halo games. The new audio director was former 343, so they've got some connection there. And someone said Ghost in the Shell. Someone said, what, Metal Gear Solid? Metal Gear Solid 4 and Peace Walker Kazuma's worked on. Very cool. Fayez, hi Fayez. Iliavi, welcome. When are we gonna see the hair drop reveal? I've been doing the super poofy hair. I like it. Um, it's very Guild Wars. The whole thing is very Guild Wars. This part's really pretty. That part. Yeah, I really like this part right here where, you know, I like anything that like gets me excited when I log into the game, you know, it like crescendos. You're like, oh yeah, I'm gonna play the game, let's adventure, right? Like that's what the Guild Wars 2 theme is so good, because it's like immediately like like the second you get in game, you're like, Guild Wars, right? Like it immediately like gets you into the game. This one doesn't. It starts very soft, and it fits what we've seen so far, and it's all very Guild Wars, but it doesn't have, if this is the start of the song, it doesn't have the punch. It's a very slow start. Some of the Guild Wars 2 expansion themes were like that, where it's a very slow start, and then some of them are like, da-da-da-da, like really like gets you excited the second they start, right? Like when like the character select screen, you know, your characters come onto the screen and you're just like, ah, right? You get all excited. Like I'm happy when I log in and it's one of those, you know, for getting me excited for logging in, you know. This one doesn't do that from the beginning. The end, there's parts of it, like this part, like that part gets very, you know, is like, woo, like gets me a little, you know, gets my attention. This part, that gets my attention, right? It's still not Guild Wars 2 levels of like punch and hype as soon as you log in. Now it's when you get to like the 3-minute mark, and again, we've heard this part over and over in the trailer, so that helps. But this is a grander, more distinct piece of music that's like, oh, that gets me like the chills going. It gets like, yeah, I'm gonna go adventure, right? So I kind of hope that like when I start up the game, when I open the game from the launcher, it opens with this part of the song, right? Like, I'm going into it transports me instantly into this land. Like it's like the transition into the game. I hope I don't open the game and hear this. Because even though these sounds and these instruments are Guild Wars, yes, this is to me personally, this is too soft of an intro. As opposed to, like I said, you know, the Guild Wars 2 main core theme. Right? I'm instantly into Guild Wars 2. Here, this end part. Guild Wars 3, right? That the end part should be the theme. And it's more distinct, and I'm talking to someone who knows nothing about music, absolutely nothing, other than I hear these notes, it makes my brain happy. That's the extent that I know music. So, to my ear, this here, da-da-da, like those 3 notes, da-da-da, like that, to me, like that's Guild Wars 3. I need like notes. Like I literally know how to play, da-na-na-na-na-na-na. Like I literally know how to play the first 7 notes of the Guild Wars 2 theme, like on the instruments in the game. That's all I know. But like I know how to play that. So like to me, I need these little distinct notes that are like, those notes are Guild Wars 3. Because Guild Wars 2 had that. There's a little part right there that I'm like, oh, okay, that could be the Guild Wars 3 notes, right? But it didn't start with that. I had to find it. Is the only problem. And like when we were somewhere in here, this just sounds like background music. You're right, Allie said it reminds me of Factions. It does. Factions had a theme like that, which is fine, and it's a beautiful theme. It's a beautiful theme, but it doesn't have the punch and the memorability. This part, it's beautiful, it's gorgeous, but it doesn't have the main theme punch and memorability that I want, that Guild Wars 2's main theme had. it's too long. This sounds like background music. I literally in my brain started at this whole middle part. I started thinking, oh, this is like background music for an area of the game that we're going to explore, not the main theme of the game. It's beautiful. It's gorgeous. It's gorgeous, and it's Guild Wars, which is what I love too. It sounds familiar. It sounds like Guild Wars, which makes me very happy. Because it's a brand new game, it's a brand new world, it's a brand new era, we're gonna have brand new characters, right? Brand new mechanics, but you need something to feel familiar. And so that while I have my criticisms of most of this song being the main theme, the whole thing sounds familiar, even though it's by a new composer as well. Like, Kazuma nailed it, and they nailed the feedback and instructions for Kazuma to make it sound Guild Wars, because the entire thing sounds Guild Wars, which I love and I think is critical. So that part of it feels like already feels like home. Oh, that's so good. That part right there, there's that little note that dips down. Ooh, that like makes me feel. And then it goes up. Oh, it's good. It's good. That's good. The last minute of this song is Guild Wars 3.
What a beautiful, wonderful life.
Yeah! Woo!
I'm gonna run to the store.
Alrighty.
This kid's gonna continue to be racist.
Mr. B. I think I wrote a couple other things at the bottom of the list on the fridge.
Okay.
Milk and such. I agree the last minute is the best part, which is odd, but I still love it. Right, yeah. You want the best part to be the beginning, not the end. Right. I would suggest a game's music mirrors of what you might expect from the game. This music suggests to me a more cautious approach, as the game is more about exploration than 1 or 2. Sure, yeah, sure. And I think there's going to be a lot of that exploration, absolutely. It does give a more, like, chill exploration mood than the let's go kill dragons of Guild Wars 2, which... Sure, yes, that might be by design. I might be asking for a super punchy, exciting theme to what, a game that's not exciting and punchy? I don't want that from my Guild Wars 3, where I'm going to be running around and what is that? I don't know. Is this going to be a much chiller experience? Maybe. I don't know. Do we want that from our MMO? I don't know. We'll have to see. We don't know. We don't know a lot about Guild Wars 3. There's been a lot of articles put out, and they've all been great. But I'm looking forward to, like, really deep diving into classes, mechanics, characters. We know very overarching what the story setting is, but we don't know details about the story itself. Right now, everything's just very high level. And except for some things, could almost fit any IP. So I'm looking very forward to when they start revealing stuff that, like, solidifies everything we've seen as Guild Wars, right? Yes, we have Or. Yes, we have Asura. Yes, we have, Kodan. We have these little elements that say this is Guild Wars, but there's a lot of other stuff that's brand new that could be in any IP. Or Sura, yes. So I'm really looking forward to the things that get me to go, oh my god, there's Guild Wars, right? Like, oh, this is Guild Wars. Very large horse, welcome, nice to meet you. Much like a lot of the Guild Wars 1 gameplay and themes and naming conventions in Guild Wars 2, the Guild Wars 3 theme feels more borrowed and grasping for identity than something of its own. except for the end, yes, I agree. Like I said, Guild Wars 2's theme song comes out swinging as This Is What I Am. This theme does not. And it does, Amsan. It does build up. This song does build up. And it's very beautiful. And it's very Guild Wars. But this part, we have to get to the 3-minute mark before I'm like, oh, Guild Wars, yes. And I don't want it to take 3 minutes for me to get there. There were hints, I think, especially in Janthier Wilds, or was it Soto? Or I think Janthier of the, or maybe Soto, of some Kodan going to Ore. Yes, and everyone was like, Kodan and Ore? What? And everyone thought that was weird, and they never really explained it, and no one could really make sense of it. But maybe this, it was a kind of a Guild Wars 3. We'll learn more about it in Guild Wars 3, or in the, there's going to be a new Ore map coming to the game in the next year or two, before Guild Wars 3 comes out. Well, we have another video. We have a behind-the-scenes video about the making of this song, and interview with the composer to watch. Yeah, we are in the past. Remember that Guild Wars 3 is in the past. It's about 1,000 years before Guild Wars 1. Oh, Jeremy Soule didn't even work on Guild Wars 2 past the core soundtrack, so he's been gone for a while. I think he did everything in Guild Wars 1. And then he did the core Guild Wars 2 soundtrack. And then it was various composers after that. I think McLean Deemer was the main composer for many expansions. And since then, it's been a lot of different composers. I was expecting McLean, because McLean hasn't worked on anything in Guild Wars 2 in a minute, and I was actually expecting him to have. The reason was that he was working on Guild Wars 3, but apparently not. Or he could still be. Maybe Kazuma just did the theme. I don't know. But yeah, I was expecting to see McLean Deemer, Guild Wars 3. So I don't know. Maybe he's moved on. Maybe he just didn't do the theme. We'll have to see. But yeah, it's been a lot of different composers lately for the last couple mini expansions. We will. We're gonna watch the second video. Oh, Julian Soule, his brother, also worked on Guild Wars 1? Nice. Yeah, people mad they're not gonna get their salads. I've seen people mad no char. That doesn't mean there's not char in Guild Wars 3. We don't know. We don't know what the playable races are gonna be. Probably not char. But we'll see. I don't know. We're in the past, so the theme song is becoming Guild Wars. Guild Wars 3 trailer had char in it? Did it? So many memories. Where else would you get gossip on an MMO's music composers? We're just nerds. We're just geeks, okay? Listen, my absolute favorite songs in the entire game are still by Lena, so every composer has yet to beat Lena's music. And I'm not just saying that because she's here. My favorite song in the entire franchise is Battle on the Breachmaker and the Labyrinthine Cliffs. Those are still my top two. Still my top two songs in this entire franchise. I cry. I cry. Hey, Moody Vanessa. Have a question as someone that has never touched Guild Wars in general, but how does that timeline work between the games? Guild Wars 3 is 1,000 years before Guild Wars 1. What's the timeline between 2 and the other games? Guild Wars 2 is 250 years after Guild Wars 1. And so Guild Wars 3 is going to be a prequel 1,000 years before Guild Wars 1. Fear not this night. Yeah. I sobbed the first time I ever finished the core game and heard Fear Not This Night. Ah, no Joko and no Mad King Thorn. There's no guarantee of that. Maybe we see them when they're alive. I don't know. Give me something to hope for, okay? Do we know when Joko the man was born? Maybe we see Joko's great-great-grandfather, okay? Listen. Joko is past, present, and future. Thank you, Cass. Joko is eternal. Does that mean we can't jump? No, that's so funny. The funny thing is this game is extremely movement based, like running and sprinting and jumping and dashing and, you know, like literally sprinting and jumping into battle. And then you go to Guild Wars 1 and you can't even jump. Mm-hmm. 700 years too early for Joko. How dare. Joko is eternal. There will be an Easter egg. Someone will say praise Joko and they'll be like, why did you say that? And they're like, I don't know. It'll be a prophet. There will be a prophet of like a foreseer character who like can see visions of the future, and randomly she'll just, like, while you're talking to her or like an ambient dialogue, she'll just go praise Joko and be like, what did you just say? She'll be like, I don't know why I just said that. Put it in the game. Put it in the game, please. Oh my god, the jumping puzzles. Imagine jumping puzzles in Guild Wars 3. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Whoops. All right, behind the music. Here we go.
For Guild Wars 3, we wanted to be very intentional with how we approached the music for the game.
Our music really encourages players to explore and experience the magical environments.
Joya.
I wanted to have that sort of a warm feel to it.
It is warm exploration. Yep. Yep.
So we've established 4 core pillars to guide the direction of the music. The first is respect the legacy.
There are countless iconic music moments across the franchise, so we're excited to bring them back in meaningful ways for players.
Our second pillar is that melody is paramount. Having those core melodies that players can remember afterward and stick with them is a really core piece of how we're approaching the music for the game.
To build on the musical legacy of Guild Wars in new and evocative ways, we're very excited to partner with highly accomplished composer Kazuma Janucci.
Chase was describing his desire for the music to be very melodic. Yeah, that was the pillar for me to start with, and how can we make this video game music very melodic and still highly interactive too. Knowing the story takes place 1,000 years before Guild Wars 1, I was naturally turning to solo strings, and then solo violin happened to be my choice. And how I met Yuki was through an event that was hosted by Seattle Symphony.
That's pretty.
And I got to hear her performance right in front of me, and I fell in love with the texture of the sound she was producing, and kept thinking how we can collaborate. And Guild Wars 3 showed up in front of me, and I was thinking, oh, this is a perfect opportunity for us.
That is beautiful.
I've had the pleasure of working with Kazuma before on a couple of Halo games, but his score for Suzume in particular, I felt really pulled at the heartstrings. The emotional depth of that score is really what we're going for with this game. His grasp of electronic textures was a great match, and we really wanted the music to feel as spiritual and magical as the environments themselves.
You'll also hear additional music from composer Asuka Ito. We're also excited to have orchestrations by Nobuka Toda. Both have worked closely with Kazuma to help realize his musical vision. And as a special surprise, we're bringing back Guild Wars 2 composer McLean Deemer.
Yay!
McLean has played a major role in shaping how the world of Guild Wars sounds. We felt it was important to hear his voice in our universe again.
Yay!
Our third pillar is negative space.
Does someone have a
and this applies both
Quaggan hat
to
on?
the way we compose, orchestrate, and also implement the music.
That's so pretty.
Kazuma really nailed that negative space pillar. Our music is comforting to come home to. It's peaceful, it's meditative, and you don't really hear this type of score that often.
We wanted to come up with unconventional instrumentation with unconventional way of performing it.
We've been really exploring some unique instruments, unique textures, and playing some instruments in really unconventional ways. We want to make sure that the music is comfortable with sparse and more intimate instrumentation, and also gives enough room to breathe so that when it gets grander or bigger, that it hits especially hard.
Our audio programmer Cameron McNair and tech audio lead Zeke Fenelon really helped develop a music system that can scale and contract based on context. And what we've ended up with is probably one of the most intuitive music systems I've experienced.
And our final pillar is sense of place. We want to make this world feel like home with music that supports how the players interact with it. Not only in terms of where you are geographically in the game, what area or environment you're in, but also where you're at with your relationship with other characters in the story.
In terms of how we came up with the theme as we have now, is we did multiple sketches. And one of the sketch was with the solo violin, and that was originally written for a prototyping project. And then Chase and I wanted to do a story-oriented theme, and I wrote a few variations. And personally, I kept going back to the theme that I was using, solo violin, and eventually I pitched Chase and Nadia that, hey, can we go back to this theme with the solo violin?
Kazuma has also done an excellent job of writing beautiful phrases that can ebb and flow naturally. Our music really encourages players to explore and experience the magical environments.
Because Guild Wars
Music will
2
play for a
has
few
very
minutes.
dynamic
There'll be a
music.
brief
Like
few minutes of
parts of the
silence.
song will like change.
And finally, when music
like,
returns, it's a huge sense of relief.
So I'm expecting even more of that in Guild Wars 3.
I really want the music to give them a sense of hope. This world is just so beautiful, and it's just such a great place to go and explore and see the amazing environment that the team has built. And the last thing I really want players to feel when playing the game is a connection to the characters that they're meeting and falling in love with as they play the game.
Yes, please.
Chase, our lead sound designer Joe, Kazuma and I really worked to find something that feels as familiar and comfortable as any of the music Guild Wars has done before.
I wanted to make it feel like someone's reading your tale. So it's like your mom reading
Aww.
you an old story, and I wanted to have that sort of a warm feel to it. I want the player to feel a sense of hopefulness and sense of wonder, which was the pitch Chase gave me, and I thought that was great.
It does do that.
I think we've found a unique balance of introducing new textures, new flavors, almost like we were breathing new life into the music of Guild Wars. I'm really excited for players to hear that for the first time, and I hope they love the music as much as we do.
See this whole end part. Oh, it's so good. Like that is like the Guild Wars 3 theme right there. Yes. One pillar is respecting, yes, respecting the franchise. I really can't wait to hear some Guild Wars 1 and 2 music and yes, you know they're gonna put in like those little pieces of inspiration from 1 and 2. Yes,
For Guild Wars 3, we wanted to be
absolutely.
very intentional with how we approach the music for the game.
Absolutely. I don't know. I don't use Spotify too much. So I don't know if the soundtrack's on there. Oh, it's so nice. Feel like most Guild Wars players don't think much about the music, even the hardcore fans. They're more interested in the visual aspects. Well, it's just what people talk about. I mean, the game wouldn't be what it is without the music. I think a lot of people don't know how to talk about music as opposed to visuals. It's a lot easier for more people for people who don't know anything about music like me to it's hard to talk about it rather than it sounds good, I like it, right? Like it's hard. Whereas visually, people have a lot more practice talking about visuals and what you see. I think that's the difference. It's not that people don't think about it or don't notice it, it's that they don't know how to discuss it unless you are a, trained in some kind of music or instrument. I think it's more that. Like I said, I can tell you my favorite songs in the franchise. I can tell you, this part of the song, gives me chills. I can tell you how it makes me feel. But it's other than that, it's hard to like discuss it, like in the same way as like, I like this game because it's pixel art versus I like, the lighting or there's a lot more things to say about, I like the lighting in this or I like the I think more people know what like FOV is than like they can identify an instrument. Especially like, unless it's something very clear like a violin or piano. So yeah, it's probably more that. I mean, it is to me. Like I said, I like song. It make me cry, but I couldn't tell you like, the specific notes and like the technical, like I can't look at a sheet music and I can't look at the page and say, "Oh yeah, that's really emotional." Exactly, Amsan. You grew up in a musical family, and so you're familiar with how to discuss music. Yeah, most people aren't. I think it's that. Oh, Erlen, and then that's sound design. Yeah, yeah. Oh, sound design. I think um is definitely even more like overlooked or not that it's not noticeable again because the game would not be what it is without sound design. But again, harder to like know how to talk about it. I think with sound design, like you said, the birds and the waves and the sound of chainmail, the sound of boots against the ground and the different textures of the ground, right? Like that is, oh my God, like the talent that goes into that. But it's meant to take a back seat, I think, to the visuals and the music. That's like the ambience, even behind the music. But it would not be the incredible, it would not be a full game without that. Um, but you notice it less. Oh, thank you, Aaron. Yeah, we're gonna have to go on a break here. This was amazing. Oh my God, thank you so much for putting together this behind the scenes video. Oh my God. Thank you so much. This was incredible. I love, 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 love seeing the people behind the game, the work that goes into it. This is just like, oh my God, it makes me appreciate a game 100-fold than just seeing the final product. I want to see the work behind it, the people behind it, their passion. And we need that nowadays more than ever. That's why I love Excel. That's why I love whenever a game, its sound design especially gets me to stop and notice it. When I notice good sound design, and I go like, wow, this is really, you go into a cave and you hear the echo, and I remember that in God of War. There was like a cave I went into and I was just like stopped and I was like, oh my God, like the sound in this cave, I feel like I'm in a cave. Like I got colder because the cave sounds were so realistic that like I literally felt colder because I felt like I was in a cave. Like that's when it's like, wow, that's when good sound design just like can blow you out of the water. And that also can be affected by, is a player wearing headphones? Is a player listening to it through two little speakers on their desk or a full surround sound thing, right? It's kind of like the visuals, is someone looking at it on a CRT monitor, or is someone have like an 8K widescreen, like we're all experiencing it on different technology. We all have different sight and hearing in our bodies as human beings, right? So like that affects it. Some people can't hear. As you get older, you lose the ability to hear certain tones, and frequencies or whatever. So like all of that goes into effect. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, lighting. I love when a game gets me to stop and notice the lighting because the lighting is so good. Yeah, I stop at lighting often when it's really, really good. Yeah. Yeah, Blade and Soul's environments. Oh, its environments were gorgeous. Oh my God. Sun rays. Sun rays, yes. Lose the ability to hear BS. You do more and more lose the ability to hear the BS. As you get older. You hear the BS, it affects you less. You care less the older you get. You're like, that's not worth my time. Mm. Like in the Shiver Peaks, there's that Guild Wars 1 soundtrack, and the sound of the snow and running on it is just magical. I highly recommend headphones, full volume. Just take a walk on Syria. Yeah, yeah. Ren says I've died to enemies because I was amazed by their designs and movement. Oh man, in just about every game I play that has good like creature design, like I I want the enemy to stop moving so I can appreciate its design, but it's attacking me, right? That's what I really appreciated actually about Visions of Eternity was there was multiple instances of the enemies in the game, especially because they're like when they're wild animals and stuff, just chilling due to various circumstances. And you could just like look up close at their designs because they're not walking, they're not attacking you, like the raptors, right? The like tech raptors. There's a place in the game where they're just there's ones that had like been released, and they were docile, and they're just chilling around a campfire, and they don't pay you any mind. They're not hostile, and you can just walk up and look as close as you want to them as long as you want because they're just sitting there chilling by the campfire. And I loved that so much because I was able to get up close and appreciate their designs. And I can't do that if they're attacking me, right? Because otherwise you have to like just go like look at a picture or watch a video of it afterwards and go frame by frame, right? Whereas like this was in game, I was able to go up and just like walk around it and look at it and appreciate it. And I loved that. That too, Zephyrus. Yeah, some kind of gallery or glossary of, and then you can like 3D rotate that too. It's a little cooler when it's in environment, um, rather than like from a textbook, of course. But yes, I very much appreciate when games have those and you can like just rotate the model and look at it, right? And it's got the little description of what it is. Like, that's fantastic, but it's next level when you actually get to do it in the game. Guild Wars Pokédex when? Yes. Yes. That too. Elroen, just there's just more now. There's more distracting us. There's more to quote unquote consume. There's just more, as there always will be, because everything that's been created still exists, right? And so yeah, it's harder. Because back in the day, not only was there less, but we, because there was less, we had more attention span. And then social media and the internet um, literally profits off of keeping our attention and keeping us doom scrolling, right? Which destroys our attention span. Why does nobody have an attention span today? Because you're just scrolling, looking for the next thing. That's why nobody has an attention span. We didn't have that 20 years ago. And it's wrecking us. It's destroying us, and it's destroying our ability to appreciate art as we should and pay attention to it, because we always want to get the next thing. That's why it's so important to, when you truly love something, just stay with it. Don't think about the next thing. Don't think about what you're missing. Oh, I got to get to this other game. Oh, done with this one. Start the next one. If you really love something, just stay with it. Stay with it and love it to the fullest. I love the games that have done that. I mean, Blueprints and Wildflowers and these games that I'm just like, I finished it, but I'm going to keep going because I just love it. And I want to appreciate even more about it instead of just, oh, checked it off the list, move on to the next one. That's why I stay with games that I'm truly loving and are bringing me joy. And man, has that been wonderful. I want to eat the wildflowers. Is this going to be on the test? Yes, it is. Guild Wars GeoGuessr. We've done Guild Wars GeoGuessr. There's a Guild Wars GeoGuessr. Oh, Guild Wars 1? Oh, I don't know if there's a Guild Wars 1 GeoGuessr. There's a Guild Wars 2 GeoGuessr. When you play new games, there's no extra sound or video open. I need to be in it. Oh, 100%. Oh, yeah. No. The only time I ever put on like a video on the side, because yes, I do absolutely, like, I'll play a video while I'm playing a game, but it's a game I've played to death and I'm just like replaying it, or I'm achievement hunting and, like, no. Oh, yeah. When I play something new, oh, no, there's nothing on except you guys in chat. I'm fully immersed in the game. I don't have anything else playing. I have the music on. Yeah, oh yeah. Oh yeah. Jay says I remember dying to bosses in E33 several times because I was listening to the music. It's turn-based. How would you die? You can just sit there on your turn and listen to the music. Oh man. Well, E33 does have like the best music. Oh my god. Mm-hmm.